Buenas, buenas. Welcome to Music Marketing TV. I'm Kevin Ochoa, and today we're going to be taking a look at SAR by ImageLine. SAR is an analog modeling synth that's meant to emulate the Polyvox. So without further ado, I want you guys to listen to SAR, and then we're going to break down the modules. As you guys can hear, it's very smooth. It just sounds really warm, and it's a really good model. And without further ado, let's start breaking down the little modules inside of a SAR. We have, much like in the original Polyvox, we have 3 oscillators. We have the main oscillator, which is just controlled by the main parameters in the synth. And then we have a sub oscillator, which is controlled by these parameters. It even has detune. It also has phase. So you can control when the waveform starts. There's octave, so you can control the pitch of that waveform. You can also go down. We have retrig, invert, and we also have an option for the square wave. Let's take a listen to that square wave. As you guys can hear, this synth is very saturated in the low end and in the high end because, like the Polyvox, it's very, very densely packed in the bottom, and the high end it's really crispy, really aggressive, much like the Polyvox. The sub oscillator can also oscillator sync the first oscillator. And just rip through the spectrum. We also have a noise oscillator. So those are the 3 oscillators inside SAR. We also have a filter, which has, unlike the original Polyvox, we have 4 filters. We have a 24 dB per octave, which the Polyvox didn't have. So let's take a listen to those. And we also have a bandpass, high pass, and these filters are just really smooth. And that's due to the physical modeling that's going on inside these filters. And once you push the resonance, you get a really creamy sound. However, if you push this with the high pass, it's going to sound very, very aggressive, much like the Polyvox. We have 2 envelopes, one for the main output and we have one for the filter. And as you can hear, that filter is very creamy. But we have those 2 envelopes, which I believe at the time the Polyvox was the only synth around that had the 2 different envelopes. I'm not sure if the Jupiter was around at the time, but from my understanding, the Polyvox was the first mono synth of that time, at least in Russia, that had 2 envelopes for the output and one for the filter. The LFO has various modulation destinations such as cutoff, sync, phase, frequency, noise, level, and pan. They can all be modulated by a triangle wave, a saw wave, a square wave, and a random wave, which can be inverted, tempo synced, retriggered, and this is controlled by speed, attack, release, and amplitude. So let's put this on frequency, put this on random, and tempo sync this. play it a little bit higher. So if we press random, we're going to get random notes. And sometimes a lot of songs are made with such features like that. If we would like to add effects to this, we can press image line and we can add a chorus. We can add a phaser, delay, and reverb. And of course, these all are controllable by their own parameters. I can't go into much depth because there's so many of them. We have modulation metrics and we have an arpeggio. Let's take a look at the arpeggio, but we have to deactivate the frequency first. So we're going to remove this and select this to minimum. And decrease the speed on this. We have up and down, and random. We can also increase the range of the arpeggio, and of course we need to play chords. So of course we can go the traditional route. To make this synth sound even bigger, we can add more polyphony to it. Unlike the original, we're in the digital world and we can add more voices to it. So we're going to add 4 voices. We're going to add detune to the voices. And we're going to increase the unison panning to increase the stereo width. And we're getting a pretty massive sound already. I really like how this sounds. So we can even go as far as to adding more polyphony if we want to play chords and deactivate this arpeggio. And so on and so forth. So as you guys can hear, this sounds very warm. It has incredible filters. The modulation matrix is there. But the main gist of the synth is that everything is very close to you. You can create sounds very quickly. You don't have to go into a bunch of submenus like other synths do. And this will make you think. It will honestly make you think about creating sounds, because unlike other synths, you have to stick to these parameters and actually apply them to something. So without further ado, I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe to Music Marketing TV. I'm Kevin Ochoa, and I'll catch you guys next time.